off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show you're on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Lab, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K-words, no Kardashian talk. Instead, we have straight talk, and we have doctors in the house with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
My very special, popular middle of the week series. I have my beautiful inside and out co-host, Dr. Tiffanie Tate, who is a Navy veteran, a published author, and retired OBGyn from Compton, California. She's a playwright, singer, poet, songwriter, and much, much more. Published author of several books. My favorite is Bad Touching, a lot of them children's book that allow you to teach in a very creative and non-threatening way. And her newest book, Money Matters, is also very helpful for financial literacy. She is also, if that isn't enough, throwing her hat into a competition. Well, it's not. I guess you could say it was a competition to do something about things that are not going very well right now with respect to the government. And I'll let her tell you more about that during the sponsored break. And for now, please welcome to my studio, Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
Always a pleasure to be here. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
We are going to start as usual, before I get too sidetracked, for breakfast. You know how I like to start every weekday morning with taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich, which means that we're going to start with top of the bun gratitudes, bottom of the bun appreciation, and that models for you how to sandwich your day in the most positive way. So what outside of you today are you grateful for, Dr. Tiffanie?
Well, I am grateful that I don't know if you get to see my beautiful lanyard that I'm wearing around my neck. I didn't have a chance to take it off, and I will go ahead and take it off right now so that I don't have it choking me while I'm on the show. I am attending a conference here in Chicago. As you can see, I don't have my beautiful books behind me. This is the National Medical Association. So I am coming to you live from Chicago. So I am thankful to be here at the National Medical Association conference so that we can learn how to be better physicians and improve what is going on here in America and globally.
Awesome. I told you she was a multi-hyphenate. I didn't even know what that was until like about a month ago. But to resemble that, that just means that saying jack of all trades and master of none is bullshit-talky. So we don't even allow that in our vocabulary anymore. You can have anything and everything all your life long. So I am grateful that even with 2 blood clots, do not seem like they're resolved. But it's okay. My nephew is also a medical doctor. The other name, that, but he's an anesthesiologist. It's grateful that I get to celebrate life no matter what is going on. And time with family here as I broadcast live from Canada. So where are you?
Chicago.
I'm going to Chicago on Friday. It's a layover, and I cannot wait to get Garrett's popcorn. I have an hour and 40 minutes to go from one gate to the other, and I'm going to wiggle my fingers that I have enough time to get a Garrett's popcorn, my favorite popcorn. If not, you can bring one for my birthday.
Yes. Yes. I know you want my peach cobbler, so yes, absolutely. So,
what else are you grateful for?
Yeah, she's already put in her request.
I am.
And I am grateful that I had the opportunity to congratulate the new incoming president, Dr. Robert Mitchell Jr., on his appointment as the new president, and talk to him about some of the issues that he feels are important. And I told him that I'm already claiming it, when, not if, but when I become the new congressperson, because I feel that I'm the best person for the job as a physician and as a veteran officer of the United States Navy. I feel that I will do the best job. I will address some of the issues that he feels are important for the people medically and to improve the system.
Awesome. What's his name?
His name is Roger Mitchell Jr.
All right, Roger. You heard it here first. One more gratitude. I am grateful that, actually, this is the first time I'm going to say it. It doesn't matter. You know, Dr. Tiffany, my newest hyphen is stand-up comedy. And I went from novice in November to amateur to semi-pro, and I got my first headliner. Hello. Yes. A couple nights ago. Thank you very much. And so that is a huge accomplishment, and I'm very happy and grateful that even though I'm here initially because my mom passed and for a celebration of life service, that I make the most out of being wherever I am. So that's the great thing I'm grateful for. And one more from you since I started. Did I start or did you start?
I don't even remember.
Go ahead, do another one.
We are having so much fun. I am grateful that despite everything that I have been through, I am always going to keep fighting the good fight and maintain optimism, courage, and commitment, because a lot of times we get knocked down, but we cannot give up. We must persevere and we must maintain hope, because a lot of times people want to paint a picture of doom and gloom, but we cannot accept that. We must continue to remember that there is always hope, and we must stay encouraged. And I am always encouraged, and I will always have that spirit within me.
Absolutely. Ditto. Bottom of the button. Y'all know that is weight training for your own self-love, self-care, self-soothing, which I believe is the foundation of your mental health. That's why we do what do we like about ourselves to model for you. Something that I want you to do for bed tonight, instead of thinking about all the things that have gone wrong or you haven't finished or you didn't do right. Instead, I want you to affirm how great you are. And I will start. I appreciate my ability to laugh often. Favorite sound. So what do you like about yourself?
I love the fact that I am open to new experiences. A lot of times people will shy away from new things, but I am willing to embrace new things. And I'm like, hey, let's give it a go. Let's try it. And when I had my my family reunion this weekend, yes, I had my family reunion in Las Vegas. Yay! That was another gratitude I forgot to mention. The Tate family reunion. Of course, I was the chair because I have this tendency to organize everything. And the family reunion was over, but it was something that I did for the sake of my mom who passed away from stage 4 lung cancer. But I was definitely willing to do something unexpected that Nathaniel wanted to do in Las Vegas, and he was like, "Come on, Mom, let's do this flyover," and I was willing to do it, and I think it was a good thing for us to do.
Wow. Like the cable car thing?
Well, in Disney at Disneyland, they have it at California Adventures, but in Las Vegas, it's a little bit more involved. It has like I think 4 or 5 different axes where in Disneyland they just take you up and down, but in
Right.
Vegas they take you like side to side, front, back. It's a little bit more involved. So I was like, okay, well, I love roller coasters, but this was a little bit different. So I had the side eye, but I said, okay, I'll go ahead and do it.
Wow. I'm going in October to celebrate my girlfriend's birthday. Maybe I'll try that. Is Sky what?
It's called Fly Over, and it's on the Strip next to MGM Grand.
All right. I'll look it up. I love to try everything once. Marriage, divorce, and Sky. We want to welcome Jerry Voxelgator. Good morning, doctors. Yay!
Good morning, Jerry.
She is the captain of our cashew gallery this morning. So as long as you're not driving, please do come see both of us live right now on my YouTube TV channel, where we are going to have a great time as usual, and you get to be part of that fun. Boy, that's a loud reverb, whatever that is. Every time you move it just a little bit, it comes. So I'm like, it sounds like you're having an airplane fly over there. But
I think it's the train that's going by.
Okay. Well, we'll just use it as emphasis. And that'll be it for breakfast this morning, because it's going to get on to a very not verbose, but meaty topic today that Dr. Tiffanie picked. But I'm hoping that you'll join me every weekday morning or not to do this good life, happy, passionate discipline called taking the life of. I promise that if you do this, without the only side effect you're going to have is probably more smiles, better relationships. Start your day with taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. Thanks for joining us today. And now for the topic of the day. What is it, Dr. Tiffanie?
Hey, you! Hey! Hey, you!
Personal growth and development. Yeah.
I thought it was evolution.
Well, personal growth and evolution, but it's kind of the same thing because when you grow, you evolve, you develop. But yes, personal growth.
I thought I wrote it wrong. That's why.
No, it is personal growth and evolution. But when you evolve, you kind of develop. It's kind of like a camera, kind of the whole thing.
Not like fungus. Whenever somebody says growth, that's what I think of. But
no fungus. Please, no fungus. Especially because I'm in a hotel. We don't want fungus.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even going to ask. Okay, so that is the topic of the day. And as per usual, the first half of the show, we do not talk about solution because we want to be relatable. We want to know what you're going through that is challenging with this topic. And as per usual, why, Dr. Tiffanie, did you pick this particular topic?
Well, as I mentioned before, I had my family reunion this weekend. And let's just say
Hold on. When you said, of course, I was organizing it because I like to organize. That is another way to say that she's a recovering control freak. Just like me. So I had to stick that in there because that was kind of funny.
Yes. And so I tend to organize things. I tend to, and like she said, we are recovering perfectionists. And
Control freaks.
yes. And so type A's, and I'm extra. And it's funny, I know I'm extra. And when I go big. I go all out. And it's funny because the family, they were like, oh my goodness, we've never had a reunion like this, and you have spoiled us. And I'm like, okay, I get it. And they're like, no, seriously, I don't know if we're ever going to have a reunion as good as this, because you have really like set the bar so high. And I'm like, okay, thank you. But it was like give and take dealing with the hotel, because I'm like, okay, remember, Tiffanie, you are still an ordained minister. Keep it simple, keep it holy. Remember, what goes out of your mouth has to be nice. You have to be kind. Remember, keep it kind. Remember, humankind, because the people, the hotel, we ran into a lot of problems with this, and it took a lot of personal growth and evolution in this process. And so let's just say when they gave us a code for reserving our rooms, the code didn't always work. People weren't always able to make reservations. And then they had my personal credit card, and the hotel was just charging and making all these huge charges against my credit card. And I had to call them and say, hey, I'm not a corporation. I'm an individual, and I need you to be aware of what you're doing. And I know we have a contract, but comma, you need to be aware of what you're doing and how you are doing this. So, and they were like, but you have an attrition. I'm like, yes, but you are not allowing my family to book these rooms. So we need to work this out. So I said, okay, when people check in, you need to let them get this rate. And I said, we need to communicate. You know how we're always talking about communication. So I had to put into words, you know how we say, take my advice, I'm not using it. I had to utilize my advice, our advice, and make sure we opened the lines of communication and make sure we did everything. But we had an indoor picnic, we had everything, and it was absolutely beautiful. And even the caterer, he was supposed to pick up his supplies, and he was like, I want you to drive him to me. And he was 30 minutes away. And we paid for the burners, and he was like, well, I want them back. And I'm like, it was a lot of growth and evolution. And I was like, that's a good thing for us to talk about.
Oh, yeah, I can understand that now. Why you want to talk about personal growth and evolution from your specific and opportunities. You must have prayed for patience. That's the only reason things like that happen. So that's why I never prayed for patience. I don't even have that word in my vocabulary because I don't want to be tested. Last time I prayed for patience, I got a teenager. So certainly, knowing when to hold and when to fold is actually my topic on Monday for Mental Health Mondays. We do this often without knowing. We have a perfect alignment of topics this week then. So that is the topic. So if you have any challenges right now or opportunities for personal growth, but in your personality or character and evolution, please do share. Since Dr. Tiffanie was so kind to live out loud as we do here on the show. And we have my mom T also in the cashier gallery this morning. Thank you for the compliment.
Good morning, Mom T.
Mom T's actually Dr. Tiffany's mother. Her bonus slash did all the hard work, Mom. And by association, because Dr. Tiffany's family is now my family, she's also my family. So good to see you. And did you hear the horrible news? Did you tell her that normally our birthdays are celebrated the Long Beach Jazz Festival, festival just for our birthdays? And I usually don't plan anything because of that. they're not doing it this year. So, did you extend the?
I did extend August 10th to her. Yes.
Good. So I hope to see Mom T at her birthday party. The silver linings of having a blood clot, which says I got to fly to Africa as planned. Yes, I get to have a birthday party at my new beach pad. So that's but certainly, there's my example. How do I grow personally and evolve into something that I'm not, which is patient, and see this grounding ability, not allowed to fly, and then 2 hours at a time because I'm too active, thoughts, complex, and is that right? When it's like potentially fatal, I know there's a lot of people for that, acute something or another. So I have 2 cute blood clots that are still relatively normal, so flying for me, and I don't like that. I had the whole unit. I am also control freak. I had everything then all the way up to the end. Fly, Canada, July, Africa, August, Hawaii, September, Ireland, October, Shanghai, Taiwan, December, and all of that right now. So, how can I not be angry at the, whoever decided this? And how do I grow and evolve when things don't happen like I want them to? Another example. So, if you have any other things, I know that people that come to me for happiness coaching, they are not happy because they got fired or laid off or nobody liked the losses that were part of COVID. Some people are still feeling the impact of that. What does this current environment we're not talking politics, but this current environment, there's a lot of changes that be happening now, going to happen, that for many is a loss. For many is not something they wanted. So how do we react in a way that is evolving rather than devolving? That'll work.
Absolutely. And so it's like, let's break it down. Let's smack it, flip it up, rub it down, right? Let's delve into this. So what is personal development? Also known as self-improvement, right? It's basically the conscious working to improve yourself. And these are activities aimed at improving your physical, your mental, or your emotional aspect. So these are like the goal of to achieve something or enhance your quality of life. You can expand your knowledge, improve a new skill or your talents and your employability. So something like that. And it can be a lifelong journey, kind of like what I'm doing here in Chicago, attending the National Medical Association conference. I'm a board certified OBGYN. Once you become a physician, it's a lifelong journey. We have to do continuing medical education to maintain our our board certifications. So we have to study every year to make sure we do that, and we have to answer questions and take tests. So those are things that we do. What do you have to do, Dr. Marissa?
I have to read or take. I don't actually anymore need NC units. They are more comparable CME units, which is required by law. But I do like to learn something new every day. And so I see that part as of my personal growth and evolution. And when I say, I try to take out always and never from my vocabulary, because if I say those things, I'm not allowing myself for growth and evolution and improvement. So whenever I say, I think that, I try to remember to say for now, and I've changed my mind to myself, not necessarily out loud, because I know that that's what life is about, is constant expansion. And I don't like that sometimes. I like what I like when I like it and how I like it. And if I like it right now and I don't want things to change, like the tour, then I'm not real good at the evolution. I want to sit on my pity pod or put the covers over my head and say, fork you, whoever decided this, fork my body, why are you doing this? And that is a surefire way of not evolving.
And it's interesting because evolution is kind of like personal development. And it's not about fixing any flaws or anything, but it's basically about remembering who you are as an individual and as a person. And you're looking to be the best version of yourself. And so you want to see how you can shift your perspective, improve your personal character. And no one can tell you how to evolve. Only you know how you can be the best version of you. And self-evolution is how you find your own power, how you want to progress. And I think when we look within ourselves and we see ourselves, we don't want to necessarily compare ourselves to other people. But if you want to emulate somebody and find a role model, I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Now we're going a little into solutions, so I want to make sure that we still deal with what the reality is around non-growth. So before and she does a lot of research, and I know she's really good at the solution oriented, but I want to give people some time to really ponder some of the BS belief systems that keep them from growing. So one, I know that is a glaring thing for relationship coaching. That's an oxymoron because I'm not in one, but I'm not using it. But many couples have this BS that everything should stay good or the same as it did when you were good. So that BS that you are a couple with common relationship goals, common career goals, common life goals, and then at some point, the chances that you're growing at the same rate and in the same direction for 70 years, which my Buddhist parents did, 74 before she passed, which is beautiful, but that is not the norm, or that is not necessarily a realistic expectation. So when people beat themselves up for being in a divorce or to not have a relationship anymore, that relationship comes to an end, and that feeling of guilt, it's a useless feeling because it's my BS, my belief system that every relationship is a chapter, and depending on how, nobody wants to love someone and limit them. Nobody wants to be in a relationship where you have to completely stay the same and never become all that you can be just so that the other person is comfortable. So I wanted to put that example out there because it is one that is not uncommon, right? And is the source of a lot of unhappy relationships.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times there's procrastination and just fear of failure and fear of growth. A lot of times there's just fear. And that's just that false evidence appearing real that we've talked about before. And fear is real, and it's a limiting factor that keeps people from progressing. And there's that inconsistent motivation, that failure to start, that limits people a lot of times. And when you have that, you can't move forward and you remain stagnant.
Yeah. Well, I've always wanted to be a procrastinator, but I never got around to it.
Yes. And when you have that lack of clarity, or the fear of change, the fear of the unknown, a lot of times it's hard to progress. Like I said, I'm good with starting things that I'm unfamiliar with. A lot of people are afraid to do that. And they have that self doubt, they have that negative talk. And when we talk about those positive affirmations, they really do help.
And I just looked at the time. We're going to take a quick break for news, weather, and traffic for this NBC News station, KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind. And a word from our sponsors. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Chuck Wooler used to say we'll be back in 2 and 2, but you know me, it's in and peace out. Don't go away.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
Hello. We are facing a critical time in America. Healthcare is under attack. Education is under attack. You need someone in Congress who will advocate for veterans, advocate for education, and advocate for healthcare. I am Dr. Tiffanie Tate, veteran officer of the United States Navy, board certified OBGyn, published researcher who performed research with Dr. Stephen Gabby, who wrote the book on normal and problem obstetrics. Please visit my website at Dr. Tate for Congress. That's DrTateforCongress.com. Support me. Help me support you. That's DrTateforCongress.com. Help me help you. Paid for by DrTateforCongress.com. Thank you.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pei.
Okay. Well,
welcome back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using a gift balance with Dr. Marissa. The morning show here on KCAA, home to Asian Oprah. Talking, thank you very much. And streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course my YouTube TV channel, which you can subscribe and give me the finger. This one, every weekday morning for this show about hope and happiness, which now has an impression number that is really impressive to me. 3.87 million impressions. Really fast. I'm grateful for that. Not because I'm into numbers, you know that I hate to measure people by numbers on social media. However, it does feel really good that a show that wasn't supposed to last for a year, that doesn't talk about the headlines, that doesn't talk about politics, is still popular enough to tune into. So I am truly, truly grateful. I couldn't do it for all y'all. And we've got some love in the Cashew Gallery. Thank you, Mom T. And it's a little biased, but that's
he's a little bit biased, but I love that. Why wouldn't she be? She better be, right?
Yeah, Yes, and we're here on my very special Wednesday series called Straight Talk with myself.
Doctor's in the house.
Oh.
It's okay. I'm here to help you out.
I'm on Friday already. I was just thinking about the flight Friday home, which is why I said Straight Talk. It is Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
And just a brief disclaimer, we are talking about personal growth and evolution, personal development. We are both not licensed psychologists, but Dr. Tiffanie is a board-certified medical doctor, OBGyn. I am a non-board certified, I'm never boring, organizational psychologist. I'm a PhD, which sounds impressive, except that it just means piled higher and deeper. And we are both the co-hosts of this really fun and entertaining, but most important, learning. We learn something new. I learn something new every time. Doctors in the House from Dr. Tiffanie and research she does. So we are talking about personal development, personal growth, and evolution. And you're welcome to chat as long as you're not driving. If you're tuned in on the AM 1050 FM 6.5 side, chat. All right, what is some of the research around personal evolution that can help us be better versions of ourselves, as you like to put it, and happier, as I like to.
Well, basically, it is said that there are key areas and actions for personal evolution. So, the first part is self-awareness and reflection. So, a lot of times we're like, oh, we tend to neglect ourselves. That's just normal. Or we have normalized neglecting ourselves. We prioritize other people and we show compassion to other people, but we tend to neglect ourselves, except for narcissists. But this show isn't about narcissists. That will be a show for the future at a later date. So we really need to know ourselves, reflect on our past, practice mindfulness, which is what we start in the beginning. They recommend journaling and seek feedback. And so when they say know yourself, understand your strengths, weaknesses, values, and motivation. And I think I have a good idea of what my motivations are. What about you, Dr. Marissa?
Well, motivation, is it something that you're born with? Is it something that you learn that is modeled for you or not modeled for you? I think that's one of those nature nurture questions. Motivation for me is it's had to grow and expand because I used to judge people who were not type A, who were not type A plus, as we both are, and that was not a helpful, useful definition of what motivation is. I think that because if I look at my two daughters, the older one is a lot like me, motivation camp. And the younger one is completely opposite. But if you told her you thought she wasn't motivated, she would argue with you because in her mind, she is motivated, except that she wants, first and foremost, to be happy. So if it doesn't make her happy, she ain't going to do it. And short term is more than long term. And this is not personal to her. I think this new generation has really embody the learning of watching their parents kill themselves to achieve and be that motivated and now are exhausted. And so I don't blame this generation for having, in our eyes, maybe less motivated, but I think it's a good balance to say they are putting motivation in swinging that pendulum in the other direction in order to have a little more balanced happiness.
Mm. Well, I think my motivation tends to be based on family and love. And I think that's one of the reasons that I am running for Congress. I love people and I want to support people. And I don't like to see people suffering because I do a lot of volunteering in the community. I educate elementary school students, middle school, high school, college students, and even family practice residents, and sometimes obstetrics and gynecology residents. And I do this out of love because I could be traveling the world, but I do these things out of love. I'm on the radio because I still want to educate and interact and participate because I love to interact with people and enlighten people. And so I did my family reunion. I organized my father's side. I organized my mother's side. I do these things out of love. So one of the reasons that I do this is love. And that was one of God's greatest commandments, love. So that's my biggest motivation. And so you need to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your values. Another thing that they said is reflect on your past. Examine your past experiences, both positive and negative. A lot of times we stuff the negative down and we use it as hurt, and it can harm us if we don't really deal with that. But we need to learn from them and identify any patterns so that we don't keep repeating those.
Absolutely. I have a great example of this in telling on myself, as usual, living out loud, is could you hit your public translation just while I'm talking right now? Because that's the feedback I'm hearing on your side.
The train is going by. I'll hit mute.
Thank you. My ears are being challenged right now. But, I am one of the 7 out of 10 of us who had difficulty, had some childhood trauma. And that is what you're saying. You don't deal with it. You're not aware of it, or you're aware of it and you don't want to deal with it. And I shoved it down for many, many years, and I covered it up by achieving. And because I equated achievement with love. And so, tell me I can't do something and I'm going to do something, but that motivation was driven from a negative place. I'll show you, for you, and all of that. And deep down, and when I was going through the very difficult divorce, that just brought all of that. One more time, I'm not desirable. One more time, I'm not good enough. One more time, I'm not worthy. What happened is I met Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, who in one question turned the whole idea of, oh, poor me, what happened to me? Why did it happen to me? I must have done something wrong, or I'm being punished and I'm not good enough, to, and this was the question he asked me, actually he asked somebody else, but I overheard it, because she said, I can forgive my husband, she said ex-husband, but I cannot forgive my mother. And I looked up and I went, wow, yeah, I can totally identify with that. And he said, not saying that what happened to you was okay, or you don't need to condone, other people's negative treatment of you. However, can you ask that if this happened as it did, was there anything that was developed in you, any quality, gift, or ability that was birthed in you as a direct result of you being treated that way? And all of a sudden, I was like, I've never looked at it. I've always looked at my past as shame, blame, anger, sadness, righteous indignation. And I'd never seen it as personal growth. I never saw it as chiseling. I never put on those glasses that could see that in that situation, as horrific as it felt, I actually was chiseled into more compassion, more resilience, more strength, more power, more creativity, more innovation, very tenacious, very communicative, because very aware, very sensitive, so that I could be and do exactly what I'm doing now. Now, some people will say, well, Dr. Marissa, surely you didn't have to be beat or called fat, ugly, and stupid or clumsy to be able to be who you are. Couldn't you have been who you are now without any of that? And the answer is, I don't know. But I know that if I look at what happened that way, it feels a whole lot better than the way I was looking at it before on my pity pot. So for me, personal growth is a choice in the way we see every single thing that happens to us. And now, thank you for allowing me to have the gurgles in my ear.
Mhm. Well, I know for me, having parents who struggled with substance abuse, I used that as a motivation because I was thinking, well, if they loved drugs, perhaps if I did well in school, maybe they would love me. And so I was I was thinking I had my mom team, but I never met my father, but I had my mom. She was always there following along. If I did well in school, so I was able to graduate as valedictorian, I was able to get into the honors and AP programs. Maybe if I did really well, she would stop doing the drugs and give me the love and the attention and turn away from the drugs. Well, that didn't really happen until much later in life, but it actually propelled me. But I was able to use my life as a motivation to other students and to encourage them to say, listen, don't let your situation stop you from achieving your dreams and your academic success. And I actually use that and see that because hindsight is always 2020, like you said. And as an adult, I have that growth mindset. As a youth, of course, you're a child. You don't really see the mindset. They had those commercials saying education is the key to the future. I knew I wanted those keys. But as an adult, I know that that was me being chiseled. But I think we have to embrace the growth mindset and again, learn those skills and use that P word that you don't like, patience.
Yeah, exactly. And the BS, the belief system that will keep you from personal growth and evolution, which is is that being stuck in blame and shame. So that 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma, and my honorable moniker Oprah says this is as high as 8 out of 10. She was public about her own childhood trauma. When I had Gloria Allred on my show, she was open about her trauma. You know, to fight so hard for the women she was because she was in that situation of having had to have a illegal abortion after being raped. And that was why I had her on. I wanted to humanize her. But, you know, all of these things that happen to us, we're not the minority, we're the majority. So pain in life has to have some reason. So if the majority of us have had childhood trauma or trauma in life, and all pain in life is mandatory, there's no such thing as a pain-free life, then it's got to have some role. So if you can look at pain as the grain of sand in an oyster shell that spit and create salve over to make pearls, or to chisel and it's in pain, right? That we're made into this beautiful sculpture, then we're less to be afraid of it. So my acronym for fear is future events already moved. If you stay any longer than to feel the actual feeling, you marinate in past pain or you shove it down and don't deal with it, you're not going to have yourself be the potential, not that you're not incredible now, but as we grow, that's what life is. It's all about growth and expansion. If you stand still, you can be in the front of the train, but if you don't keep going, you're going to get run over. You got to grow.
You absolutely have to. Just like time passes and we become more seasoned every year, we have to expand. We have to expand our minds. We have to expand our spirits. Just like our bodies grow, our mind and spirits need to grow, and our personalities need to grow, and we have to evolve. Evolution is not just a term, it needs to be a verb within our spirituality. And I think we have to set goals for our lives, set goals for our individuality, and we need to act with integrity, because we need to be responsible for ourselves. We need to be responsible for our household, and we need to be responsible for our fellow man. Be kind and compassionate. We have lost compassion within our society, and I think we need to get that back, because we need to practice self-care. We need to start to forgive one another. A lot of people are holding on to past grievances, past pain, and it's like swallowing poison and expecting the person next to you to die when only you and your personal spirit is crumbling on the inside. That's not helpful. And I think we need to take responsibility and be authentic with what we're doing, with what we're saying, and how we're saying it. You're muted, Dr. Marissa.
That's very rare, so enjoy it. My version of the poison is, I hate looking at you, so I'm going to gouge out my own eye, so I don't have to look at you anymore, which is stupid, because you're only hurting yourself. But it is definitely, this is a call to action for everybody, is if you are afraid of the hurt or the pain, and I can guarantee you, then ours is stasis. You're standing still, you're not growing and expanding. With all growth and expansion comes more opportunity. If you're standing still, the opportunities are not going to come. So it's only through opening yourself up, right, to the twisted link. And I'll use this story, unless you have more research. Do you have more research?
Mm-mm.
Okay, good. Because I've always wanted to tell this story, but I've never had time. So, rocks. Tell me if I've already told the story. No, I don't think so.
Which story?
2 rocks. There's 2 rocks
So it is-
in a store. Yeah, you always run the whole time. So there's a rock on the right side of the store, a rock on the left side of the store. They're both on these little risers. And the rock on the right, people line up to go and look at this rock on the right. It's beautiful. People stand around this rock and say, oh, look at the way the light is shining, and it's the prism of color and the way it hits that angle. It's so beautiful. And this goes on for like years, right? The rock on the left gets 0 visitors. I mean, some will go by it and just sort of keep going or come back around to the rock on the right. So this goes on for years and years. And finally, the rock on the left is pissed off. It jumps off its little riser, shakes its hand and says, life, you are not fair. It's so not fair that rock over there gets all the attention and all the love and all the accolades and all the compliment, and no one pays attention to me. No one says anything nice to me. They ignore me, nothing. Well, the skies part, the clouds part, and life looks down, puts his hand around the rock on the left and says, darling, I love you. I love both of you. But every time I come towards you with my chisel to do a little work, to unearth the beauty that you are underneath some of those edges, You say, no, I don't want to hurt. I hate pain. I'm allergic to pain. Don't hurt me. I got nowhere to go. Moral of the story, pain in life is mandatory if you want to be and do and have and shine. And it requires some pain. It requires all pain in life is mandatory. There's not one person in all 8 billion of us on the planet. And whoever planted that BS, the belief system that if you have pain in your life or tragedy, you must have done something wrong, or life isn't fair, or God doesn't exist. That's BS. All pain in life is about growth and expansion. I rest my case. That was my final word in a story. Dr. Tiffanie, final word. Oh, you're muted this time.
Okay, wonderful. So Dr. Marissa's philosophy, no pain, no gain. But I want to end with a quote by Helen Keller. She is one of the people who I admire because she was differently abled. She did a lot of things, and she was a very phenomenal woman. And her quote is, "The only thing worse than being blind is having sight, but no vision." That is very profound, and I will say it again. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight, but no vision. And that's by Helen Keller. And I think it's important to know that you can have sight, but no vision. So you need to be able to grow. You need to be able to evolve. And I think it's important, especially now, because we have a future. And no matter what, there is nothing permanent. No situation, no policy, no politics. Nothing is permanent. And I want to stress that. Nothing. No politician. There's nothing permanent. Everything is dynamic. Things can always change. So remain optimistic, remain hopeful, and remember, you can always fight the good fight as long as there is tomorrow. And remember, there is a tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, as usual, great information for you in your own personal development towards more hope and happiness. Thank you, Dr. Tiffanie. As usual, she's broadcasting live from Chicago. I'm broadcasting live from Canada. Next week, I think we'll both be back in California.
The convention.
The medical convention. Tomorrow is Throwback Thursday, and because today is National Dolphin and Whale Day, I will be replaying my fabulous interview with Rick O'Leary, who was the dolphin trainer on Flipper turned dolphin activist. Your homework is to go watch The Code. I believe it's on Netflix. Brilliant, so that you can enjoy. He actually streams live from Taichi, Japan, where the dolphins are being slaughtered. So it's a great interview. That's tomorrow, but in the meantime, it's all about balance, peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Dr. Tiffanie Tate, bring us home.
Now go and have the best day ever.
Thank you, Cashew Gallery, for being here. See ya tomorrow.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa.